Season 10, Episode 11, MAFS UK.
It seems like only 2 weeks ago we started this process.
It does. I'm not looking back on it fondly.
I'm just going to say I am not loving this series.
No.
There you go.
No.
I think it is lackluster.
It really feels like a lot of the matches have been put together by the producers.
It does. And when we say matches put together by producers, it's matches that have got obvious, massive flaws. Even if the person is 90% of what the other person wants, there's a massive flaw. And I mean, the perfect example is Grace and Ashley. I think we all agree on that.
Yeah.
There's no other way of putting it. They've put Mr. Traditional in a marriage with Miss New Age woman feminist person.
And unfortunately, her whole support network is that.
And
she doesn't appear to have anybody out there that can make her go and see the positives of what he's offering, what she could have if she chooses to.
And while there is a ready supply of not very nice men, Ashley seems like a pretty good guy, and you can tell he's not out there to hurt her or anything like that.
No.
But she has been so heavily gaslit that all men are pigs, and the transactional thing where he paid for dinner, therefore I felt like I had to sleep with him, just set them up in that in that moment for then she goes out and buys contraception. Now, he wasn't thinking that, but I've got to say, if I went out with a mate, a bloke, I'm not into fellas at all. But if I went out with a mate and as a gesture, I thought it was my shout, it was my turn to pay, and I paid, and we're on our way home and he pulled up at a chemist shop and bought contraception, I would be concerned of what his motives were. So it's understandable to me why Ashley thought he was on for the night. And then it turns out, according to Ashley, there was only one night out that happened, but she brought it up twice when she was with the experts to make it look like that it was an ongoing situation. I think she's being gaslit into believing certain things by the ongoing feminist machine.
She needs to get really clear on what is it that she actually wants.
Yeah.
And
the nail job thing is just such a nothing burger. And he clearly, because he's grown up with sisters, he clearly thought he was doing a retreat.
I think it is really notable. People talk about love languages a lot. I don't know if you guys subscribe to that. Haven't been there, don't know yet. I feel like his love language, if that's what you call it, is like gift giving. I don't know if he's been very...
It's another one of those men are from Mars, women are from Venus rubbish concepts where they say there was a book that talked about love language.
Okay.
And you've got to get people who understand your love language in order for them to talk to you in the love language you understand.
Right.
And vice versa. And there's acts of service, words of appreciation, and what was it? There are a whole stack of these different things.
is this the men are from Mars, women are from Venus?
No, it was a different book.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's the same sort of vibe that a book came out, then all of a sudden everybody talks in terms of love languages. And of course, no one remembers that it was just a book by some hack journalist or whatever, and they think it's a real thing. It is a real thing, right? There are some people who do lovey-dovey talk, and some people who do public displays of affection, and some people who do acts of service. I hate the term acts of service.
Yeah, me too.
It's not my fault that my acts of service are grand larceny, grand theft auto. It's not my fault.
Well, I'm the guy who my acts of service are putting in a kitchen. That's a pretty big act of service. You're not going to do that every week, right? So it's a problem. Words of affirmation. Words of affirmation versus acts of service. You think about that for a second. I put in a kitchen and I get a, well done, love. That's not okay. Like, that needs to be lots of words of affirmation for an act of service at that volume.
They're in love language debt.
Exactly.
Anita and Paul.
No.
Bye, Anita and Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to say it in the only way I know how. I'm so glad they're going. It's a torture to him. She dulled his sparkle.
Yep.
She just annoyed the living daylights out of me. I actually thought he was going to annoy me, but
You didn't get the opportunity.
he didn't get the opportunity.
Yeah.
She wanted everything her way. You will communicate my way. You will accept me for me. I will not accept you for any reason other than you being the way I want you to be. Just forget it.
Yeah, no, there was no winning with her. Not at all.
I've got to admit, if I was locked into that situation, I would probably just buy myself a shovel.
First contestant on MAFS to fake their death.
Yeah, exactly.
For the couples challenges,
Yeah.
they really need to up their game with these, because you've got the whole do you like me? Do you find me attractive? You know, how is your ex? What was that about? I think we get him into a room.
Right.
We get a body double that looks exactly like one of them. For this example, we're using Nelly and Steven because I think it's funny. Nelly doppelganger. We give Steven a gun, and he's got to figure out which one's which. And if he gets it wrong, he's got a wife swap, and he has got to go with the doppelganger now.
Okay. Now, while I'm a massive fan of a sci-fi trope,
Okay.
right, we all know that is no doubt there. I think maybe all of that would be very hard to set up. But what you could do is you could have them do a text message / WhatsApp message conversation
Yeah.
with two separate people, and they have to work out which one is which.
That's actually a really good way
Because
of
it's
implementing
really
that.
easy to do, because that says you're picking up on how someone communicates
Yeah.
in a deeper way.
Yeah.
But it's the same challenge.
Yeah.
Now, I think the gun might be a stretch.
Minus the shooting her. Yeah.
Well, you're not allowed to shoot people, is it?
We're in the wrong country for that, for starters.
At any rate, but I think doing
Yeah.
it as a text message
Yeah.
thing could really work.
That is actually a
Yeah.
really good idea.
MAFS producers,
Yeah, listen.
lock that
Yeah, lock-
in. Bailey and Rebecca.
They're going good.
Bailey and Rebecca, nothing burger still. I think
Joe and Maeve.
Yeah. Joe and Maeve, they're connecting, and that's
They said their I love yous.
yeah.
they did.
And they're
They
like
did.
4 weeks in.
Yeah. Yeah. Drop
He
the old
said
L
it
bomb.
first.
Yep.
Which is good, probably.
Yep.
I am a fan of Maeve, and I think Joe's okay.
Okay.
The only reason I'm not a fan of Joe, we'll use the word yet, the reason I'm not a fan of Joe yet is, I don't know, he's taken on the tortured addict path.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be an ex-addict and you're going to run that line,
I think the point of being an ex-addict is that you don't do any lines.
no, but if you're going to be an ex-party man addict, you've got to be a bit more committed to the bit.
I do. I kind of agree with
Right,
that.
because he
cut out
still
alcohol.
drinks.
Yeah.
He still does a lot of that. He just doesn't do it to excess. Like, more power to him. Great, right, that he's gotten to that point. But of the addicts I have known, and I have known many, I have never met one that can reduce without finishing altogether.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fair enough. I hadn't thought
So
of
to me, someone who can reduce just had a bit of a bad experience and thought I should settle down. That's not an addict story.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I'll put it this way.
Yeah.
If someone is a full-on meth head, have you ever noticed someone saying, have you ever heard this story? I used to be on meth 5 times a day. I was always out for my face on meth. But now I only meth out once a week and I'm fine.
Yeah, I just do it on a Saturday
That's
night.
not a
treat.
thing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's, no.
It was like me with the smoking and the drinking.
Yeah.
And both went hand in hand.
The whole cutting
If I
down
had
thing
a-
never works.
Yeah, if I had a drink, I would then want a smoke. I did get to the point where, thankfully, it started to make me physically feel sick. Even just the smell of cigarette smoke now makes me still feel like I'm going to vomit.
So you gave up completely.
Yeah, when Dad's over, I have that one celebratory Corona with him. And not at any point do I feel like, oh, I'd really like a cigarette, or that, oh, yeah, I'd really like to knock back that case of Corona tonight. It would be like going to a wedding and toasting.
But you also don't run the addict script.
No,
But
well, I wasn't.
he is
Yeah.
speed running the addict script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, that reads as someone applying a bit to this situation.
Yeah, I hear you.
David and Kiss?
Yeah, okay, yep.
Yeah, they're just a bit of a nothing burger at the moment.
They're doing their thing. We know full well it's going to have a huge blow up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it just
2/3
will.
of the way in, no question.
Yep, it's going to be a massive blow up. We've got Sarah and Dean. She's
Yep.
still breadcrumbing him. Just stop it. Just stop it. Hopefully, you're learning from this process.
She's
Dean,
just not being very nice to him. Now, her claim that outside of this process she's a really nice person, that's not, yeah,
a half truth, maybe.
she may be. This process might be bringing out the worst in her.
Mm-hmm.
I think the worst in her might lie just below the surface most of the time. Bringing out the worst in her is actually just her seeing it because it's in a closed environment.
And she's got people calling her out.
It's
It's
like
under
saying
a microscope.
it's like
know?
saying I don't normally look fat, and then they put you in a room full of mirrors, and all of a sudden you're looking around, and everywhere you look, you see yourself looking fat.
Yep.
Right. This process is a room full of mirrors for her.
Mm.
And I think if we talked to her close friend group, they would say things not like she's really harsh. They'd say things like she's very truthful. Now,
She can be a little blunt.
yeah, she can be a bit blunt. She's very truthful.
Clearly, she just says what's in there.
And I don't have a problem with
It comes out. I mean, we can't talk. We do.
that. I do, absolutely.
You know.
I don't have a problem with that. The
Yeah.
problem I have with that is what's in there,
Yeah.
right? You're generally, females are looking for someone who is out there and doing stuff. And when you are, I'm going to go as far as to say very heavy, because he is, and not fit, he doesn't look like he achieves. Julia, Ruth, and him,
Ah, Julia, Ruth, and Devani.
why don't they just go home?
Ah, look, that was.
They're doing it for
clearly-
clicks. That's
yeah,
why they don't just go home.
That was
Yeah.
clearly a producer match.
Yeah.
And sorry, guys, but you guys got this wrong. All of us, I think, speak on behalf of everybody who's watching MAFS UK 2025.
Yeah.
Devani and Julia Ruth.
Yeah.
Don't bring two people who are both in television and acting,
The
who've
most
been on
important thing that
TV,
they're-
both of them, several times in lots of different roles, who come on saying, I want to find love. Just put them on a different show to find love.
The biggest
Stop.
thing about them is they're in denial, right, of the fact that they're there for clicks, and that is all.
Yeah.
They are just a waste of our time.
And he is like constantly lying. Like it's impressive how much he is lying. I am jealous. Leah and Lee
Ah, Leah and Lee.
didn't do the candle.
Lee is breadcrumbing Leah. We know she is.
Yep.
Giving her just enough to keep her interested. And I think that is failing.
Yeah, Leah is smart enough not to get Hansel and Gretel.
Nelly and Steven.
See, anyway, I don't even want to talk about him.
Okay, so he has had a really bad, worst week of his life in a long time.
Which is great because it shows you what he's like when he has a bad week. Can you cope with that person? Well, I tell you who can't cope with that person.
Nelly
Nelly.
can't cope
Nelly
with that
can't cope with
person.
that person.
Because,
Therefore,
yes,
are they a match?
possibly not.
No, that is incorrect. They are definitely not a match.
No.
Because when I have a really bad week, I can be grumpy. This is true. I understand this.
Yep.
Do I get like Steven does? Do I get abusive? Do I do...
No.
No.
Do I antagonize you?
Yes. All day,
do
every
not.
day.
I do not.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's like he was abusive and aggro. And what did she immediately do? Rip in there and boost him up to make him more aggressive and aggro.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that...
Victim blaming.
I'm not victim blaming.
No.
I'm just stating what I saw.
I think it's very notable. I don't think she would have acted that way if there wasn't cameras in the room.
I think she would have been worse.
Yeah.
You've never been around spousal abuse, but quite often the way it goes down is that the abuse happens because the two sides wind each other up into it. That's where spousal abuse often comes from. And, you don't want to victim blame, but there's a case, was it Beyonce or Rihanna that had a famous case of one of them got punched in the eye in the car? I think it was Rihanna,
Yeah, it might have been.
right? And Bill Burr, the comedian, got in trouble because he made a particularly poor taste joke. But he said something along the lines of, I'd like to know what was happening in that car immediately before, because she probably wasn't saying, oh, look at the pretty butterflies, and because
Yep.
that doesn't happen.
Yep.
What happens is that people have a bad day and then the other person, or get drunk or whatever, and then the other person makes an issue of that. Then it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then eventually someone snaps, and 9 times out of 10, the woman comes off worse. Not always the case, because suffice it to say, I have seen cases where men, steelworks men, like proper men, would come into work with black eyes because their missus took something to them. Generally, there's an escalation from both sides.
It does. It takes two to make it escalate.
Yeah.
I mean, Nellie's said that needs a lot of reassurance, and
That's very tiring.
absolutely, I was just going to say, that puts a lot of pressure on
The partner.
the partner.
It's not
Whoever that
unlike-
partner is going to feel a lot of pressure, a lot of weight having to carry, continually having to reassure someone that it's all good, babes.
I'm
And if
going to
not-
say straight
know.
out, I don't like Steven. I don't think Steven would care if I said that.
Yeah.
No.
Right? I'm not a fan of Nelly. I think they're a poor match. The experts did the whole, oh, we were so shocked that you were like that. Well, you know what? You didn't do your job properly, because I saw it in him.
We already touched on this on a different episode, was that, he comes with a ready-made family.
Yeah.
And he comes with a ready-made family that has one child that has
Needs.
some sort of special needs. right? And so
That's
adds a...
not going to be an easy life.
It's not going to. I don't see Nelly responding really well if they've had a stressful, I don't know, I'm going to say holiday.
It's going to be a stressful
kids,
time.
And I think it's his son, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's his son. He's nonverbal, so he can't say to her, "You're not my mum, don't tell me what to do." But I think we'll find that his daughter, may at some point in time, if Nelly starts to speak to her or sees her addressing her brother like that, she's going to turn around and say something that Nelly is then going to turn around, and you're going to really see it. And
Well, here's the
he's
thing.
He's not going to let that fly.
Let's give benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Let's assume the kids are golden and Nelly is the sweetest person to them that she could ever be.
Yep.
Special educational needs schooling is fraught with stressful situations, right? Compared to your stepfather having a heart attack, which we've been through this stuff.
Yeah.
That's very bad. But compared to that, your child getting the raw end of the deal from a teacher who should know better and you having to go down to the school and deal with all of that,
Yeah.
that is proper big stress.
Yeah. Anyway, good people, thanks very much for watching.
Good people. These are MAFS fans.
Okay.
Is there a chance they're good people?
Yeah,
They could prove that they're good people.
they could.
They could like and subscribe.
They could leave a comment and they could share it. And that would show your worth. No, that's not what I mean to say.
No.
That could show us that you're worthy in the gladiator pit that is the Makin'Makers YouTube channel.
That's right.
You hit
What you-
subscribers, we've got 40 so far, we're going to put them in a pit, and they're going to fight each other. Like, we're going to get 20 out of this, but they're going to be
But they're
really
going to be the
loyal.
best subscribers.
Yeah.
Just fade to
Okay,
any
fade
colour
to
you want.
purple for Halloween.
Fade to bats.
Fade to
Fade to
bats.
bats, okay.
Okay.
We're going to vampire away.
We're going to